Eric Adams, mayor of New York City, is deciding to sign an executive order to deport migrants. Now, the mayor is exploring different legal areas and routes after the city council rejects changes to the sanctuary policies aimed at deporting migrants accused of crimes. Hey man, like, if you're in New York City and you commit a string of crimes, I don't really think you deserve to live in New York City, right? And that's the words from the mayor. And asserting his commitment to public safety, Adams considers executive action to address violent and repeated offenders amidst a backdrop of violent incidences. If you guys haven't heard, New York City crime rate is sky high. It's getting so bad, they're deploying the National Guard to the subways because it's basically the purge down there. If you wanted somewhere where you could have constant amounts of migrants, constant amounts of headaches, dangers in every corner, then New York City is definitely the city to be. Right now, this is going to be New York City, right? There's just migrants everywhere. There's like 200,000 migrants in New York City. City's going broke. They can't afford anything like this. And Adams is thinking about canceling the whole entire situation with the sanctuary city status. He wants to cancel New York City as a sanctuary city. They can't take in any more people right now. And Mayor Adams even said that he has had an epiphany on the migrant crisis. He's doing a massive U-turn. Let me tell you guys, at first, everyone in New York was actually kind of happy. You know, they keep telling other cities, yeah, we're a migrant city. We're the best. We care for people. And what about now? Many of you New Yorkers who are pro-migrants, pro-sanctuary city are now turning their backs on this. Many citizens just want to live peacefully. In America, trying to find a normal city with some normal laws and a normal government and city council is a very difficult thing to do. There's really only a few cities left in the US that are like that. And this is why a lot of places like Vegas, Austin, Tampa, Orlando, Miami are becoming massive hotspots for finance and tech. There's a good reason for that, and many of this is coming at the cost of traditional tech cities like San Francisco and traditional finance cities like New York City. And Mayor Adams is doing a U-turn on the migrant crisis because they keep going down this sanctuary city path. Either one, they go broke, or everyone leaves. It's one or the other, or maybe even both. Mayor Adams is calling for a radical overhaul. Democratic leader has faced a furious backlash as schools, hotels, and community centers have been turned over to almost 200 migrants. He has warned this is destroying the city and it can't go on. You know, like I said, I think New York City, if they want to go back to the glorious days where all the hedge funds and big banks are there and it's known as the big financial hub of North America and around the world, if they don't do any drastic changes, it will eventually crumble to dust. Guess what? Even places like Chicago, we already saw Citadel and Ken Griffin moving their whole entire operation out of Chicago. Nobody thought that would have happened. It finally happened. And look at this. You even have the New York governor. They're starting to notice the immense amount of crime and craziness happening underground. Basically, the New York governor is calling on the National Guard. 750 guardsmen and also 250 state police troopers will all be stationed underground to help curb crime in New York City subway stations. Many New Yorkers, some of them, are very unhappy about this. But guess what? Do you want to go down in the subways when there's no patrols? There's a lot of craziness. Train conductors are being slashed. Workers in subways are being hurt. Is this really a place where you want to go for daily transportation? Not really. Some New Yorkers are actually kind of happy about this because for the first time, the subway stations actually had some sort of law and order instead of being constantly chaotic. People used to make fun of the New York City subway stations about the whole rat thing, about rats crawling everywhere in the New York subway station. Guys, if you go to the New York subway station, the rats are your least worries. They're not really going to hurt you. It's going to be all the crazy people down there that might actually hurt you. And this is why many people in New York City are kind of done, right? There's a lot of people who bring weapons like knives and guns to the subways, and they're actually checking bags for this. And guess what? New York City, who knows? You know, maybe in the next few weeks, we're going to be seeing double-digit percentage drop in New York subway crime. Many New Yorkers are sick and tired of crime-infested subway tunnels. But now, some stations where crime is very rampant is starting to become better and better. In my personal opinion, I think they might be curbing crime finally. And lastly, nobody wants to take in any more migrants. People are so sick and tired of the migrant crisis. Let me tell you guys. Ask any New Yorker on the street. All of them say the same thing. They don't want to be a sanctuary city anymore. It's getting kind of old. It's getting tiring, and the city's going broke. Okay, just 5 of New York State's 62 counties are accepting migrants through the state's Migrant Relocation Program, which pays a year's rent to any migrant family that moves out of New York City. Basically, New York is like, here's a year's rent, get out of the city, and after that year's rent is over, well, it's that county's problem. So New York is basically trying to force and trying to push a lot of its problems to other counties, which guess what? County officials are not having it. They're saying, you ask for it, you're a sanctuary city, we're not. And New York is basically fighting this alone. Maybe just 5 counties helping them out, but most of them are not. This is what's happening to New York City, right? If they don't change their tone and back out on some things and continue down this path of being a sanctuary city with no checks and balances, they're already collapsing right now. And it's going to get worse as time goes on. Hopefully New York City recovers. This is a wonderful city if you guys ever been to it, but right now, it's somewhere that I don't want to visit.